After this, when the apostles had returned, they gathered all around him, telling him all about what they had done and taught. And when Jesus heard this, he urged them, "Come now, let us go secretly to a secluded spot and take it easy for a while." You see, they had been coming and going so much that they had had absolutely no chance to eat. And Jesus took them, boarded a boat with them, and sailed with them to an isolated setting on the far side of the Sea of Galilee, which is the Sea of Tiberias, to a town called Bethsaida. Now many who were there recognized them, for they had seen the wonders that he had worked on the sick. And the people watched as they went away. So when the throngs of people heard about it, and it became known, they all followed after Jesus, running there on foot from all the towns, and arriving there ahead of him. After Jesus had left that region behind and gone ashore, he saw a great crowd and felt sorry for them, for they were like sheep who were lacking a shepherd. He welcomed them all and started speaking to them and teaching them many things about God's kingdom. Then he healed those who were sick and needing healing. Jesus climbed up the mountainside and sat with his disciples there. And the Jewish feast day of Passover was drawing near. Then he lifted up his eyes and saw many people coming to him. Jesus therefore said to Philip, "Where are we to buy bread for these people?" This he said as a test to him, for he already knew what he would do. And Philip answered him, 200 denarii worth of loaves would not be enough for each of them to have even a partial serving. And later on, toward dusk that day, his 12 disciples approached him and urged, "This is such a far-flung place, and the day has grown quite long. Please tell them to go away. Have them go into the countryside and villages round about to buy themselves some food to eat, as well as lodging." "They have no need to go away," Jesus answered. "You give them something to eat." Then the disciples asked, "Are we to go out and with 200 denarii worth of loaves give them something?" "How many loaves have you got?" he asked them. "Go and see." One of his servants, Simon's brother Andrew, said to him, "Here is a boy who has 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. But what do these amount to among so many?" And when it dawned on them, they said, "We've got nothing here but 5 loaves and 2 fish. That is, unless we go and buy food for all these people." You see, there were close to 5,000 men who were there. And Jesus said, "Bring them over here to me." Then he had the crowd sit down on the green grass. Then he said to his disciples, "Have them sit in parties of 50. And so they did, and there was a lot of grass in that place. They all sat down, by hundreds and by 50s, about 5,000 men in all. Upon receiving the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, Jesus took the loaves, looked to the sky, and blessed them. And after he had given thanks, he tore apart the loaves and handed them to the disciples to set before the people. And they distributed them among those who were sitting there, and the fish as well. He divided the 2 fish among them all, as many as the people wished. And they ate their fill and were satisfied. And when the crowd had had enough, he instructed his disciples, "Gather up the leftover fragments, so that nothing might be lacking of them." And they took the leavings, gathering up and filling 12 baskets with what remained of the 5 barley loaves and the fish that were left by them who had eaten it. And there were 5,000 men who ate in that place, not including the women and children.